I believe that Dogelon Mars could very well be the next big meme coin, and a $10 billion market cap, that's still my target for this bull run, even though that's not financial advice. But if you're wondering what price it would have at that point, I do showcase it on the screen. But even beyond that, people may be thinking, okay, this is impossible, because take a look at altcoins as of right now. They're having a pullback. Wow, they say that it's over, but I disagree. I think the journey is still very far, and I think that Dogelon Mars is going to be one of these meme coins that really could have the potential to be one of the next big ones, because it has the 3 traits, in my opinion, which we've seen work so well time and time again for many of the popular and successful meme coins. And what are these 3 key traits? First of all, it's a strong and passionate community, which Dogelon Mars has. Not to mention, you take a look at it has fantastic exchange listings. And again, Dogelon Mars does have this, and many meme coins who have done very well, they do have that as well. Not to mention, last but not least, something that is very unique. Dogelon Mars, I think, perfectly ticks all of those 3 boxes. And let me explain why. Because first of all, when it comes to the community, people may think that, yeah, you say it's strong and passionate, but what do you mean by that? Well, here's the thing. If a project doesn't have a strong and passionate community, would it have over 100,000 holders? I highly doubt that, especially when it comes to something like Dogelon Mars, which historically hasn't done the best, right? When it compared to other meme coins out there, the fact that it was strongly maintaining a good amount of holders, I think showcases, if anything, the passion that people have when it comes to this project. And that's very key right there, because there's many meme coins out there that may have a good following, but they don't have a good and passionate community. But that is something that really can't be, sort of predetermined in a sense. So I think that when it comes to Dogelon Mars, it is lucky in that aspect, right? Because again, someone, let's say they make a project, they can't force people to be passionate about that. It has to come naturally, and this is present when it comes to Dogelon Mars. Not to mention, you take a look at good exchange listings listed in over 25 major exchanges. This is crucial because while some people may think that, yeah, if a project is good, people are going to find it one way or another. And to a certain extent, yes, but during a fully fledged bull run, in order to see, something like Shiba Inu or let's say Dogecoin really pop off like what they did back then, right? And even to a certain extent, as of right now, it needs a lot of exchange listings. And Dogelon Mars, it does have that tick. People need easy access when it comes to a project, in many cases during a fully fledged bull run. Not to mention, why is Dogelon Mars unique? This is the last but not least, third characteristic that I think a meme coin needs to have in order to be considered successful, or at least has the potential to, right? Now, the unique thing about Dogelon Mars is the fact that even though it's not necessarily a groundbreaking meme coin by any means, I think it's a very unique concept because you take a look at Dogelon Mars. Now, of course, we all know how that's very cool because you take a look at how Floki, that's named after Elon Musk's dog, that did very well. I think this could very well, hypothetically, be the next quote-unquote Floki. Now, I made a very good call on Floki. Dogelon Mars, only time will tell, but I don't see why this isn't unique because while many other meme coins out there, they have a unique factor in terms of their logo or in terms of their name, the cool thing about this is the fact that Dogelon Mars are actually trying to improve in a sense that while many other meme coins out there aren't looking for, improvement, Dogelon Mars is saying, we're going to look for improvement because keep in mind, they do have a metaverse in the works, in a sense, because this is going to be very special in my opinion. Not to mention, the metaverse is going to be set on Mars by integrating AI to create immersive and interactive virtual experiences. So that's pretty cool. You take a look at metaverse, or should I say the metaverse market, even though some of the hype did kind of, disappear, I think better days are ahead. And of course, we all know that AI is on the rise. So when you take a look at this is a very unique concept. I'm not saying that this is going to be a groundbreaking, thing by any means necessary. However, it's a good touch. And again, while we see many other projects out there within the meme coin space kind of be lazy and not really care about improving, Dogelon Mars, they're changing that perception. And this way, in my opinion, it really does give something to look forward to, right? Because imagine someone believes in a meme coin project, or let's say just any project in general, but then they don't really know the direction in which it's heading. It's kind of hard to really stay passionate about it, right? But this, I think, does give, a strong sense of belief when it comes to many holders, at least from what I've seen. And not to mention as well, they do have a layer 2 in the works, which is called Rufus. This is kind of basically like Shibarium for Shiba Inu, but then in this case, of course, for Dogelon Mars. Now, Shibarium, the amazing thing about it, or should I say the unique thing about it, is the fact that it did give a lot more clarity when it comes to Shiba Inu in a sense that, this project is actually heading in a proper direction. Not that it really needed it, because you take a look at Dogecoin, it's not making anywhere near the moves that Shiba Inu is. However, it does give, something to look forward to. And when it comes to Rufus, I think it could very well do what Shibarium did for Shiba Inu, which again gave the community something to look forward to in a much smaller scale, of course, but still, I think it's going to work nonetheless. And it's an only time will tell type of thing, but I think that the future of this could be very bright. So when you take a look at Dogelon Mars, really, on paper, it just is another meme coin. But if you actually take a look at deeper at something like this, the way I view it is that the community is actually very amazing. They're actually trying to improve, not to mention exchange listings are fantastic. So even though people may think that, oh yeah, it's just another stereotypical meme coin, I think it's actually very impressive. And I think it could very well be the next big meme coin. I'm not saying it's going to be the number one of all time. However, a $10 billion market cap, I think that is very impressive. If anything, keep in mind that is around a 74x from here. That's very impressive. And I think it also showcases how kind of underrated Dogelon Mars is. And some people like to say that, oh yeah, take a look at the price for Dogelon Mars is not doing the best. The way I view it is that sentiments in the crypto space, more specifically, it changes very quickly. As fast as we saw many people not believing, in something like Dogelon Mars, I think will be equally as fast when it does really hypothetically go up. I think the sentiment will change again equally as fast. Take a look at Bitcoin, for instance. After it reached an all-time high back in 2021, of course, we all know what happened, right? Bitcoin had a major pullback. There was the Terra Luna crash and all that type of stuff. And at that time, everyone thought that Bitcoin was done. All the people that were bullish when it comes to Bitcoin before, they were like, yeah, this is game over, all this type of stuff. Then suddenly, once it started going back up again, the sentiment changed equally as fast. And I don't see why it's any different when it comes to Dogelon Mars. I think that sentiments, again, can change very quickly, and I'm not giving up. I've been through Floki, right? I remember, holding Floki at one point, and then it was down over 95%. Even maybe, I think, at one point, it was like down around 98%. But then I kept accumulating, right, when it was low, and then it did around a 30x. So really, it's not like it's my first rodeo seeing things not doing the best and then having a pullback. No, that's not the case. For Floki, for a long time, it was boring. I have to admit that. But then it was kind of worth it in the end, if you really think about it. So when you take a look at Dogelon Mars, I don't see why it's any different. Also a lot of other altcoins, which are hypothetically good, I think could really have this massive resurgence, because the way I take a look at it is that the journey is still very far. Even as a worst case scenario, we do know that altcoins, they usually peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. So 18 months from the last Bitcoin halving event is October this year, actually. There's still some time, in my opinion. I highly doubt that this race is anywhere near the finish line. I still think there's a ways to go. And a $10 billion market cap, I really don't see why not. It's not even that crazy anyways, considering how Shiba Inu at one point reached around 40, Dogecoin at one point reached over 80 billion. This was back in 2021, of course, but I don't think it's too much in the grand scheme of things. I believe that before it's all over, this is really going to be considered as the next big meme coin. I'm going to still be accumulating, and again, a $10 billion market cap. I don't see why not during this bull run. I hypothetically see this as being one of the next big meme coins. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch you all in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.